Welcome to our U.S. briefing program. Today, we're diving into some fascinating stories. First up, the U.S. has become more discreet about sailing warships through the Taiwan Strait, shifting from public announcements to a quieter approach. Experts believe this move is all about reducing tensions with China while keeping strategic options open, a delicate dance in a tense maritime region. Next, we turn to New York City, where Zohran Mamdani, a vibrant progressive candidate for mayor, is stirring up the political scene. Once calling for police defunding, he's now proposing to keep police but create a new community safety department focusing on mental health, showing how political stances can evolve in the heat of a campaign. He's also a strong supporter of Palestinian rights, adding more layers to his profile. Finally, the United Nations faces a tough period ahead with funding cuts and less influence, but global organizations like the Gates Foundation are still stepping up to address major issues like gender violence and development. Despite the financial hurdles, these collaborations are more vital than ever to tackle the world's biggest challenges. Please continue to watch for more detailed insights. The South China Morning Post reports that since Donald Trump's return to the White House, the U.S. has significantly scaled back its public declarations of warship transits through the Taiwan Strait, with only 3 confirmed operations compared to the routine announcements during President Biden's tenure. This shift is believed to be a tactical move aimed at de-escalating tensions with Beijing, which has long criticized the public hype surrounding these operations. Chinese analysts interpret this as a deliberate effort by Trump to soften U.S. signals, prioritizing domestic political considerations and avoiding unnecessary provocations, while still maintaining the underlying policy of freedom of navigation. The muted publicity appears to serve as a bargaining tool, allowing the U.S. to project strength without inflaming tensions, especially amid rising regional military activities and the expansion of joint drills involving allies. Despite the reduced public stance, experts warn that the U.S.'s actions remain consistent with long-standing strategic objectives, and the situation in the Taiwan Strait continues to be a delicate balance of military presence and diplomatic signaling. In the New York Associated Press piece, Zohran Mamdani's journey to become the Democratic nominee for New York City mayor is examined amid intense political scrutiny. Critics label him a communist and accuse him of advocating to defund the police, but Mamdani clarifies that he identifies as a democratic socialist, supporting measures like higher taxes on the wealthy and rent freezes to promote affordability. His policy proposals, including city-run grocery stores and a shift towards community-based safety initiatives, have sparked controversy, with opponents claiming these ideas threaten economic stability and echo Soviet-era policies. Mamdani's stance on police reform has notably softened. After initially calling for budget cuts and condemning the NYPD as racist and violent, he now advocates for maintaining staffing levels while establishing a new community safety department. Additionally, Mamdani's outspoken support for Palestinian rights and his criticism of Israeli policies have drawn accusations of anti-Semitism from critics, although he emphasizes his right to advocate for justice and equality. His association with the Democratic Socialists of America remains a point of contention, with opponents arguing it reveals radical tendencies, while Mamdani insists he is running on his own platform, distinct from the organization's broader agenda. The Associated Press also highlights the challenges faced by the United Nations amid a landscape of financial uncertainty and diminished influence. Despite looming cutbacks and questions about its relevance, the UN continues to attract foundations and nonprofits to its sidelines during the General Assembly week, though the atmosphere is markedly different from previous years. The Gates Foundation has delayed its Global Development Report due to uncertain aid commitments, and the Clinton Global Initiative is shifting its format to foster new programs rather than traditional conferences. The U.S.'s freeze on UN funding and the Security Council's inaction on major conflicts underscore the organization's strained capacity to address global crises. Nevertheless, the UN remains a vital forum for international cooperation, with smaller, more focused gatherings emphasizing frank dialogue and innovative partnerships. Events like the Ford Foundation's Conference on Gender-Based Violence and discussions on economic inequality reflect a renewed sense of urgency, as philanthropies and governments grapple with the complex challenges of the modern world and seek new avenues for collaboration amid a shrinking global cooperation space. The Associated Press highlights how comedians like Jimmy Kimmel and international satirists such as Bassem Youssef have historically found themselves at the forefront of free speech battles. Youssef's experience in Egypt, where his show was shut down following a military coup and accusations of insulting the president, mirrors Kimmel's recent suspension after making controversial comments about a political figure's death. These incidents underscore the peril comedians face under authoritarian regimes and in politically charged environments, where satire often becomes a target for censorship and repression. Jon Stewart's remark that comedians act as bellwethers of societal health emphasizes their role as unfiltered voices of democracy, with their humor serving as a barometer for political freedom. The global landscape reveals a pattern. Leaders with autocratic tendencies, from Vladimir Putin to Narendra Modi, have historically cracked down on satire, viewing it as a threat to their authority. Despite the differences in scope, the recent U.S. controversy over Kimmel's suspension echoes international trends, with figures like Trump and FCC officials warning against negative commentary, and late-night hosts rallying in defense of free speech. The enduring legacy of comedy as a form of resistance, dating back to Charlie Chaplin's The Great Dictator, remains a powerful symbol of democratic resilience, even as governments tighten their grip on expression worldwide. Meanwhile, the South China Morning Post discusses the shrinking influence and operational challenges faced by the United Nations amid global funding cuts and geopolitical uncertainties. Despite a diminished budget and reduced scope, the UN continues to organize its annual gathering, attracting foundations and philanthropists to New York for a series of conferences and networking events during the General Assembly. The Gates Foundation, a major supporter, has postponed its report on global progress due to unclear future funding commitments from nations, reflecting wider concerns about the sustainability of international aid. The UN's most significant body, the Security Council, remains paralyzed, failing to address ongoing conflicts, which highlights a growing sense of urgency among global actors. Prominent figures like Bill Clinton and organizations such as the Bloomberg and Clinton Global Initiative emphasize the importance of these gatherings as vital opportunities for collaboration, especially focusing on Africa and gender equality issues. The shift toward smaller, more candid discussions signals a recognition that the global cooperation space is shrinking while problems, such as violence against women, continue to escalate. Despite these challenges, the UN and its partners stress the importance of maintaining dialogue and innovation, viewing this year's assembly as a critical juncture to adapt and find new ways to address pressing global issues amid financial constraints and geopolitical tensions. The Associated Press vividly depicts the tense and calculated operations of ICE in Chicago, illustrating how agents conduct arrests under the guise of precision and safety. Early morning raids are meticulously planned, with officers briefing each other on suspects' descriptions and potential risks, emphasizing their intent to avoid harm. Despite assertions from ICE that force is used appropriately, critics argue that tactics have become increasingly aggressive, citing incidents like smashing windows and masked arrests that evoke chaos and fear. The tragic shooting of Silverio Villegas Gonzalez, who was killed after allegedly threatening officers with a vehicle, heightens tensions and questions about the use of deadly force, especially as some detainees report being hit with stun guns or having their identities concealed. Critics, including local activists and officials, condemn ICE's approach, accusing it of provoking resistance and undermining community trust, with some asserting that ICE's presence in Chicago is an unwelcome extension of federal enforcement efforts that threaten to escalate violence and division. Yahoo US offers a snapshot of the local housing market, revealing that in Shasta County, the median home listing price in August was $429,000, marking a slight decrease from the previous month but a modest increase from the previous year. The data paints a picture of a slow-moving market, with homes typically staying listed for about 63 days, slightly longer than the national median, and an increase in new listings, signaling some market activity despite overall sluggishness. The report underscores that median prices reflect only a segment of the market, primarily existing single-family homes, excluding new constructions and pending sales. Across California and the broader U.S., median home prices are slightly down or stable, with California's median at nearly $750,000, illustrating regional disparities and ongoing affordability challenges amidst fluctuating market dynamics. Outlines from Out magazine narrate the transformative journey of Alok Vaid-Menon, whose presence in a 2013 college class left an indelible mark on a young Anna Malika Tubbs. Recognized now as a trailblazing poet, comedian, and advocate, Alok challenges the deeply ingrained structures of American patriarchy, which enforce a rigid gender binary that marginalizes gender nonconforming individuals. Their visibility and activism expose the systemic violence and societal rejection faced by those who defy conventional categories, emphasizing that the fight for gender freedom is intertwined with broader struggles for racial and social justice. Tubbs reflects on how Alok's courage highlights the need for a feminist movement inclusive of all identities, urging us to confront our own complicity in maintaining oppressive systems. Their story exemplifies how living authentically in a society that seeks to suppress difference is a revolutionary act, inspiring ongoing efforts to dismantle the binary and embrace genuine diversity and equity. Thank you for tuning in. The content above showcases the latest briefing reports and analytical synopses, thoughtfully curated by the 6Do team. These insights stem from a wide array of reputable media outlets, think tanks, government sources, and specialized experts worldwide. We encourage you to explore these sources for a comprehensive perspective. Keep in mind that while the content may not always align with the official standpoint of 6Do Brief, it's not meant to be taken as absolute directives for decision-making. Comprising seasoned media professionals, learned scholars, and accomplished scientists, the 6Do team embodies a trailblazing, fully independent media entity. To customize 6Do Brief to meet your professional needs, you have the option to subscribe to a diverse array of briefings on our website, 6dobrief.com. Regardless of your location, you can conveniently receive 6Do Brief via email.
Money flowing like a river, stocks to rise and sometimes shiver. Economy goes up and down. In this game, we wear the crown.